morning, everybody, and happy Monday. Happy start of the week. If you are in the Midwest, I know you are just having the weather kill you. It is unbearably hot. If you are over there on the West Coast, I know things are pretty much absolutely perfect. Sorry about any delays that there have been in the last few weeks. I've actually been out of the office, recharging myself, all ready to go for this, because I know we're going to have an absolutely great second half of the year. That being said, when we are talking about having a great time, one of the best ways to get ourselves up and running is actually to be based off of referrals. So kind of those free clients, the ones that we build ourselves, because we all know leads are not free, and that is a huge part of our business. So I thought we would start this one with the good old Zig Ziglar. I know if you've been in the industry for a while, you may roll your eyes a bit. I know I do when I hear him, but his quotes are still pertinent. I don't care how much power, brilliance, or energy you have. If you don't harness it and focus it on a specific target and hold it there, you're never going to accomplish as much as your ability warrants. That is very true. One of the things people say is, I'm really good at starting conversations and my clients love me. I'm good at building rapport, picking the right plans. I get that part, and that's great. That's good on the beginning. That's your foundation, your building blocks. But you need to focus and harness it on building the referrals, being worthy of the referrals for you to be able to get up and running and get yourself to that next level. So my goal today is to give you a few quick tips and tricks to building some referrals and a few things to think about as always. So happy Motivation Monday. If this is your first Motivation Monday, here's how we're going to run it. We go through a tip of the week. We take a look at some of the trends that are coming up, who our sales leaders are, and of course we'll end with the sales technique, which is usually why we jump on this call. Our goal is for these to be 15 to 30 minutes at most, quick power pack, so you can get back up working with your clients and making money. Tip of the week for this week. You probably have seen a lot of things going on there in the news with everything that's happening as far as trying to working on dismantling the ACA. There's nothing solidified yet. So if that was one of the things you're wondering about, there are still, things are up in the air. It's making progress towards it. But the tip of the week for this week is actually General Agent Center, VBA, Value Benefits of America. It's a really good, as far as it goes, AME and AD&D option. It is inexpensive. The thing that I like about it, it has a very low AME deductible. I know one of the things that we have sold a lot in the past has been, that NatGen Plan Enhancer, which is still great. The Plan Enhancer has a time and place for everything. It has those great SIP riders, has a great cancer, heart, stroke riders. But if you're working with someone who maybe doesn't have that budget, take a look at VBA. At least you can throw on yourself there $2,000 AME, right? A $2,000 AME with a $50 deductible. Beats all the other ones with $250. If you have not really looked at it, you can actually go to ahcpsales.com, take a look at our carriers, and pull up General Agent Center. It'll ask you which one, then click on VBA, or Value Benefits of America. If you have any additional questions on it, always contact Agency Services. That is what they're here for. Their phone number is in the upper right-hand corner. One other thing, I know there's an email that went out today too with NatGen starting in the Medicare area. So take a look at that email that was sent out, I want to say pretty early this morning for everybody. So let's take a look at some of the trends that are going on. Well, we're in the summer. It's the hot months. People tend to be out and about, but we're still making sales. So we had a pretty healthy increase there in short-term medical, leading there with NatGen and Golden Rule. No real change there in the fixed benefit areas. A lot of people are still going through, first off, VBAs on there, going through and making them with the short terms, kind of creating that whole insurance concept there to let the fixed benefit pay towards the deductible and, the out-of-pocket maxes there with the short-term medical. In the supplements, good job. We are having good increases in the middle of summer on those, which means that we're really going through and creating those proper bundles for our clients, the ones that they need, the ones that to make sure that if they get in an accident, that they're not going to be out of their house and home on that. So increase in accident sales there, leading with the NatGen and Golden Rule. No real change in critical illness. We usually like to fall towards the NatGen. Again, if you haven't taken a look, I recommend taking a look at CBL as well, Colorado Bankers Life. Really great CI product. Only disadvantage is it's underwritten, so it takes a few days for it to get back. And then an increase there in dental. We all know why we sell dental, policy retention, and it's the one product our clients like to use. Let's do some shout outs for sales leaders here. In the limited benefit category, Katya taking gold. We have Edgardo taking silver, and then Robert Swander taking bronze. Good job, all of you, leading in the limited benefits. And our sales leaders here in our short-term medical. Dustin Pearson, congratulations on gold. Katya falling down there to silver. And of course, Wendy Larson on the board there in bronze. So we went through the tip of the week. We took a look at what is selling as well as who our sales leaders are. So let's jump into our sales technique. So let's start with tips for building a referral base. For building the referral base. So if you're starting to get those trickles of referrals, there might be a few hints on here. If referrals are half of your business, might not be as important, but there's always some good things to take away. So when we're talking about referrals, one of the things I like to do is actually, way to build referrals is to contact people and to talk to them. What's big right now? Social media. That's a given. I follow a lot of agents, a lot of agencies on social media. I'm actually have a pretty big social media presence myself, more so on the the training, the sales side of it. But I can talk a lot about firsthand experience from this. There's a lot of good ways to build referrals, but there's a lot of good ways to also burn all your bridges with referrals. You want to maximize your energy on this. You want to go through and pick the right things for you. And I'm going to go through kind of a variety of options today. Not all of them are for everybody. Also, don't pick all of them right away, but they're all going to be based off of the same concept right away, which is how to get a referral. Well, be worthy of it. You're starting going, really, that's it? No, I mean, it's something to keep in mind. You do need to be worthy of a referral. If you're not really sure what you're doing, if you're not, don't have your feet under you, it might be hard to build referrals because, when people are talking about you, we want them to have that good experience. You need to walk in with confidence. You need to walk in with the knowledge as well. So people want to work with people who are first knowledgeable, right? I'm not saying know the products like the back of your hand. There's absolutely no reason to know it, but know where to find the answers and where to lead your clients. It's not always important to know the answer, it's to know where to find the answer. That's going to have your clients like you. Professional, right? That's one of the things. I know I'm following a few agents that I've been working with, and all of a sudden they're going through and posting their own religious rants, their own political rants. That's not professional. That's what you do on your own personal page. Professional is what is important to your industry. Now, if you're posting articles about the ACA being dismantled, that's fine. If you're posting articles about it with a political background, that might not be as good for people because, people might be very standoffish about that. Keep in mind, the country falls 50-50. So unless you want to burn half of your bridge, which you can do, I have a very successful agent who does that. And you know what? He's phenomenal at it. But that's one of the things. That's the sector he wants to work with, right? And then fun. People want to work with people who are relatable and fun that way. So first off, being worthy of referrals, know where to go. Have yourself be professional and always be fun. By that, give correct information to clients. One of the things that they say, if you do something right, that one person is going to tell their friend. If you do something wrong, give incorrect information, person's going to tell 10 of their friends. It's one of the old rules there. People like to tell the negative instead of the positive. Now, how does the positive happen? How are referrals built? When somebody asks a question in a social setting, that person goes, hey, you know what? I actually have a health insurance agent. You should go talk to them. I have a life insurance agent here. You should go talk to them. I have somebody who specializes in Medicare. You should talk to them. So let's jump kind of into it. So first off, we're going to talk about the external ways. So you want to build a referral base. Here's a few hints for you. Just start looking at the external ways. So find referral partners in similar industries. I know I've talked about this a bit in the past. One of my top agents built everything actually by working with financial planners. And his financial planners, they could do almost everything he could do, but they didn't want to. They wanted to focus on their client base. He talked to a large financial planning firm and said, you know what, I can do this. If anybody has the financial questions, I'm going to send them your way. But when they have the health insurance questions, send them my way. And they go, great, we don't want to deal with it. It's really confusing. We're not specialists in it. And they let him use an office in their building 1 day a week. And he would have lines out the door for that. So one of them, find people in similar industries. Another big one I've worked with in the past are attorneys. When people get out of jail or prison, they have to get up and running somehow. You are going to be a great resource for that. As well as another one I've worked with is P&C agents that don't want to deal with accident and health. One of my favorites was I actually worked with a huge group of P&C agents, which were also A&H licensed. They didn't want to deal with A&H. They go, you know what? I specialize in property and casualty. They were actually car insurance specifically. We do car insurance. I'm like, great, I do health insurance. Let's meet halfway. If I ever get a question about car insurance, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm going to just send it to you guys. And if you get those health insurance questions, send them to me. Wasn't exactly my bread and butter. I didn't, have 100 clients a week off of that, but I got some clients off of that without having to put too much effort into it. I found a referral partner in a similar industry. There's also good ones, business networking groups, right? So go apply to those business networking groups. They usually have one person from each industry in that, and so you can network with other people, and it's just a great way to throw the referrals. If you haven't thought about that, do. Caution about business networking groups, it's usually just a great place to go and drink a lot. Make sure you go in there with a plan. Another one, a good external way to build people is to host a seminar. You have all these questions coming up. Host seminars at places where you know your client base will be. I have one lady, she hosts her seminars in her church. After they do mass, she goes, I think it's like about once a month. She goes there and she hosts a seminar about health insurance for that. I have one guy who's very active in his community. He hosts at the local community center, and it's about answering questions about health insurance. He'll host on different types of insurance products, changes that are happening in the law. You can host a seminar about those supplements and why they're important. Easy things to do. There's the local small business network groups, referral links on your website. If you don't have a website, I highly, 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 highly recommend it. I know there've been a ton of emails coming out from us here at AHCP about websites. Take a look at them. They're inexpensive to do. Have a referral link on the bottom or put it in your email signature. The best compliment I can have is referring a friend. There you go. Something simple where they will know to do it. So let's talk about social media. This is one of my big ones, right? One of the best ways to get referrals, is have a social media presence, be it on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, we can all name about 100 of those, right? But it's really important to do it right. Let's talk about that really quick. So for example, on YouTube, if you want to do a YouTube channel, great. They're really good. People actually go on YouTube now to search how to do just about anything like applying for health insurance. Make it relevant, make it professional. Also, a big thing is kind of make it quick. So I've been following a few agents there on YouTube, and one of the things that's the downside is they're going to talk for 30, 40 minutes. No one wants to listen to 30, 40 minutes. It's like a voicemail, right? You got just a few seconds to grab their attention. Social media, things like podcasts, unless you're going to go in depth later on, get the meat done up front in the first 3 to 5 minutes if you're doing a long video, right? You want to go through, you want to make it power packed, you want to make it attention grabbing about what's out there. Also, you want to give your information out there after the first 3 to 5 minutes as well. Don't go there and just gab. People are going through and they're clicking the gabs. Think about this. So when you're on Facebook and you find one of those great videos and you want to go through and click it and watch it, what happens halfway through now? There's an ad. Why? Because people's attention spans are making it, and on those ads, they're about 90 seconds in. So 90 seconds, bam, there's an ad. Think about it. You want to do about that long and bam, there's your information, and then keep going. If you are doing a YouTube, put a camera on yourself with that, but then also give yourself kind of a visual background with it. Make it relevant, make it pertinent, and know who your group is on Facebook, on YouTube as well. Facebook's an important one. If you have a professional Facebook, do it again. Keep it very relevant, keep it very professional. Kind of keep it a little above the bar if you can. LinkedIn is good. It's good if you want to network with local small businesses. So that's a good one to get small groups. If you haven't done that, make a very professional LinkedIn profile, go through, start associating yourself with any of the groups in the area. There's an area in LinkedIn to search local. And then Instagram. Here's the thing with Instagram. It's very millennial based. So if millennials are your target, Instagram's a great way to go. All those you need to be frequent and consistent. One of the things is people usually get up and running and just stop. Now frequent, don't do it every day. Think about how much time you really want to invest in it, but you want it so if you go through, they're going to be posted. I'm going to show you what times to post in a minute here too, so hang tight. Also have a clear message. Again, if you get gabby, if you get kind of lost, people are going to lose you. And again, if you do any of these, add it in your email signature. Best thing to do is just find the little block images of YouTube, right click on the image, go to hyperlink and add the URL to your page. If you have any questions on how to do that, of course, you can contact me. Best times for these three. First off, Facebook. Think about who's on Facebook. It's probably not going to be the millennial generation. They're dying off of Facebook, canceling their accounts. One second here. They're canceling their accounts with this one with Facebook. It's about 1 to 4. So it's going to actually be a lot of business people on there. Twitter, is usually a lunchtime users between 1 and 3. And with LinkedIn, it's either Tuesdays or Thursdays is the best time to post. With Instagram, it's either going to be late at night or early in the morning because that's one of the first things people do when they check it. YouTube, that one you get a little more leeway on as far as it goes. If you want to post on YouTube, you can do it. I wouldn't do it super early in the morning, more of a early afternoon kind of post if you want to get people to do it. So here's the times that people actually check some of them. Best times to post on Facebook, again, 9, 1, and 3. Instagram is 2 a.m., as I said, early in the morning, 8 a.m. or 5. Twitter, well, people are on Twitter all the time. The thing with Twitter is that you don't really stay relevant on it. It's a hard one to keep relevant. You actually have to post quite often. And then Pinterest, if you're a Pinterest user. So work smarter, not harder. Timing is everything. It's really easy to Google this, actually. You just post, when would you like for this to happen? Just say, LinkedIn, best times to post on LinkedIn, best times to post on YouTube, and pick only a few. One of the things I've noticed is people are saying, I want to get on every social media and be super relevant. No. What we talked about, be your own brand, figure out what your client base is, what social media they are using, and go that way, right? So if, again, you're the big millennial user, Instagram and Instagram hard, right? So one of the things is work with your existing clients. When you sell them, let them know first off you're going to be following up. One of the things we talked about before in the sales process is let them know that you are going to be following up with them to make sure they get their insurance cards, they got their insurance packets, but then also ask them, if they have any friends or family who could use health insurance just like you. Let them know who you want to work with. Again, that's going to be in that branding one. If you haven't seen it, go to the AHCP YouTube channel, click on the branding video. Who do you want to work with? Let them know right up front. Hyperlinks we talked about there. Provide a template too if what you need. Say, hey, I'm looking for any friends or family who need health insurance. Referrals are one of the best compliments that I can get. All I really need is their name and their phone number. Do me a favor though, call them first and let them know I'm going to reach out. Why? Because then they're already going to have trust with you. A lot of times, if you can get the client to introduce you to their friends, you almost have a guaranteed sale there. So again, small add-ins, as we talked about before, let them know you will be asking for it. Let them know, again, the small value added that if you have a friend or family, that's an absolutely great compliment. I want to work with people who are small business owners. That's kind of what I specialize in. I can work with people who aren't, but if you have any friends who own a small business like you, those are who I work with. That's what I do every day, in and out. And then one of the things is always ask at the end. What a lot of people do, and actually what I started doing a long time ago, is I would just say, I would lead them up to the idea. I would lead them up to the idea. Okay, you know what? I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask, and I never did. Don't be afraid to ask. What's the worst that they're going to say? No. Also, don't get overly pushy with it. I did have an agent once who would literally say, I need 3 referrals before I can walk forward. Horrible idea. He said, my clients don't want to call me back. Yeah, because you're kind of harassing them. Make it a fun thing. Again, people want to work with people who are fun, who are knowledgeable, who are professional. That's a big one. So steps to take now, be worthy of a referral, add that referral link to your signature, and also what you need. Today, if you make a sale, you talk to a client, let them know, hey, I will be following up with you. I want to make sure you get your insurance cards. You get that insurance package, and then let me know who I can help on that call. And create a list of people or communities that you want to know and get in front of, right? Small business networking groups, things that you're actively involved in. If you have a really good supplement that might help if there's sports injuries, what local sports teams can you do? Right? Maybe if there's a list of places that work with people who've been affected by a critical illness, maybe you can go there and help them that if that happens, that at least they'll have some financial support as they're going through treatment for that. So again, also create a list of what social medias you want to do and how to keep connected. If you're doing the social medias, put the reminders on your calendar or on your phone to pop up to remind you to post. Keep it consistent with the posting. One of the funny things is if you fall behind, which I have done before, I've gotten emails from people saying, hey, when are you going to put up that next video? So keep yourself relevant. If you have any questions, want any help with any of this, please reach out there, training@ahcpsales.com. That does go directly to me here. You can say, hey, Dan, I have a few questions for you. Questions about any of the carriers I talked about today. Call agency services. And let's end with a pretty good quote here. It's a Chinese proverb. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. So true. The second best time is now. If you are saying, hey, you know what, I wish in the past all of my clients who I sold I would have asked for referrals to, that's great. That's in the past. Water under the bridge. Start it from this day forward. I'll be on next week with everybody here, so happy Monday and good luck selling, everyone.